This is David Sweeney from the Department of IT, and in this brief tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the Androsa File Protector software in order to encrypt and password protect files that you can then distribute via email or via disk. The Androsa software is free software that helps you encrypt password protected files that can be distributed safely or transmitted through email. After creating and sending an encrypted file, you should always communicate the password for the file, preferably in person or over the phone. If you must send the password via email or some other electronic means, then you should always send it in another message than the one that the file was sent in. So this is the Androsa Soft website. It's androsasoft.net. You don't need to actually go to the website unless you just have questions about the usage of the software. You can call the service desk at 862-7990 and they will install the software on your computer. So there are 5 steps to encrypting a file. The first is to add the file to the Androsa package. The second is to set the path for the output file, set options for the output file, set the password for the file, and then encrypt it. So I'm going to start by launching the Androsa File Protector software. And over here to the left I have a file which is an Excel spreadsheet which has the populations of Bulgaria in it. So we're going to use this as our example of a file to protect. As you can see, this is just a standard Excel spreadsheet. So once I launch the Androsa File Protector, what I can do is I can take this file and just drag it over to my Androsa software and drop it in. Now you can encrypt more than one file, and in fact you can encrypt directories of files if you'd like to do that, so it's not limited to just one file. So that's the first step. The second step is to tell it that I want to create a self-extracting file. So I'm going to come up here to this button that says Protect, Restore, Create SDX and click that, and then select this Create Self-Decrypting Archive, and when I select that it gives me this dialog box. Now the first thing I need to do is I need to set the path of where this file is going to be saved. The default is always your C drive in the root, and that's really not a good path to save it. So generally when I'm working with files to send via email, I will click these 2 buttons here and then select my desktop as the path that I want it saved. And the file name, I have to enter a file name. I'm going to call this file Bulgaria Protected and then save that. So you see now that the path has been updated. Now this checkbox, Self-Decrypting Archive, we always want to make sure that's checked. If you're going to be sending the file through email, then you must select this box that says Insert the archive into a compressed file.zip. The reason is because what this will do is it will create an exe file, and exe files cannot be sent through email. So by encapsulating that in a zipped file, you can send that through email safely. After I've done that, I'm going to come over here to General and I'm going to set my password for this file. You'll notice that the default algorithm to use is this Rindell AES 256-bit. According to our university rule, the minimum encryption used for confidential data is 256-bit encryption. So I'm going to enter my password now, and I'm going to type in a strong password, which is a mixture of letters and numbers and punctuation. And if the passwords match, then this Create SDX button will then be enabled. Now when I click the Create SDX, it's going to go out and it's going to compress that file, encrypt it using the algorithm, and password protect it with the password that I specified. So I'll go ahead and close Androsa. And you'll see that on my desktop now I have this Bulgarian protected file, which is a zip archive. Now this file can be attached to an email message and sent via email. You can share it to a network drive and then have somebody reference it there. This file is not only password protected, but it uses that password to then encrypt it with a very strong encryption algorithm so that it can't be cracked very easily. So to de-encrypt this file, I'm going to double click on the zip file. And if you use the zip as opposed to just doing the exe, which by the way, if you don't need to send it via email, you can copy the encrypted exe file to a disk like a CD or a DVD, and you can give somebody that disk, and that's actually a safer way of transporting the information than sending it through email. But if you need to send it through email, this is a way to do that. So when I open up the zip file, you'll see that my file in there, Bulgaria Protected, this is the actual encrypted file. It's not the finished spreadsheet that I need to view. So I'm going to select that file or whatever files, if there's more than one that I would like to extract, and then extract that. I'm going to extract that to my desktop in a subdirectory, a subfolder called Bulgaria Protected. So it'll take just a second to do that. And you'll notice that what it's done is it created over here a Bulgaria Protected subdirectory, and then inside that folder there is one file, bulgariaprotected.exe. When I double click on that, it's going to ask me for the password for this file, and if I type it right, it will allow me to self-decrypt that file. And now you'll notice that in this subdirectory I have the actual spreadsheet that I wanted to transmit. And if I double click on that, it will open it up in Excel. So to review the steps again, to encrypt the file, you want to add the file to the Androsa package or file or files. You want to set the path of the output file, keeping in mind that it will always default to C, and you generally don't want to save it to C. You want to set the options for the output file, whether or not you want to include it in a zip file, and you need to do that if you're going to send it through email. You'll set the password for the file, and then you'll encrypt it. To decrypt it, you will double click on the zip file to open it, extract the self-unencrypting file, and then execute the self-unencrypting file. And when you execute it, it will ask you for the password, and once you enter that, then it will extract the file to whatever location you would like to save it to. If you have any questions about using this software, you can always call the help desk at 862-7990, and I hope that this tutorial has been informative.